Okay, well, welcome everyone to the November 21st Public Council meeting for the town of Conception Bay South. And as always, we start with our land acknowledgement. The town of Conception Bay South would like to respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk. We also respectfully acknowledge Labrador as the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Innu of Nitassinan, the Inuit of Nunatsiavut, and the Inuit of Nunatuavut. We strive for respectful partnerships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. Next, we have adoption of the meeting agenda for this evening. Someone would like to move that. Councillor Connors, seconded by Councillor Barrett. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. And next, we have the adoption of the meeting minutes from the last public meeting, November the 7th. Someone want to move that? Councillor Moores, seconded by Councillor Hillier. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Business arising from previous minutes. Of course, we'll deal with that at this meeting and meetings we have in the future. And next is visitors, presentations, and petitions. And this evening, we have one proclamation, the Purple Ribbon Campaign for 2023. Whereas violence prevention work is based on a vision that the people of our town will live in a safe, caring community where there is an inherent respect for each other and violence of any sort is unacceptable. And whereas the Purple Ribbon Campaign runs annually from November 25th, International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, through December 6th, the National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women, ending December 10th, encompassing the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And whereas the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence is an international campaign designed to develop strategies to increase international awareness of the systemic nature of gender-based violence, and whereas gender-based violence devastates those who love and support women and gender-diverse individuals, as well as relationships, families, communities, neighborhoods, workplaces, schools, villages, cities, and towns the world over, and whereas the Purple Ribbon Campaign provides an opportunity for individuals, Indigenous groups and organizations, community organizations, and governments to work together in solidarity and draw upon this period of heightened attention to gain support for local efforts to eliminate gender-based violence. And whereas the town of Conception Bay South stands in solidarity with organizations worldwide who desire change for a better, more equal, and more just world for women and gender-diverse individuals, and whereas it is only through raising awareness and changing attitudes that gender-based violence can be stopped and prevented. Therefore, the town of Conception Bay South does hereby proclaim November 25th to December 10th as the Purple Ribbon Campaign to prevent gender-based violence against women and gender-diverse individuals. And as well as always, the town will light a tree in front of the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary building, and we will have the colors here at our town hall, as well as flag raising, I believe, which will happen in a couple days' time at the Fowler's Road entrance where the flags are for the town to mark the Purple Ribbon Campaign. Okay, moving on to new business, and tonight we'll start with Councillor Rex Hillier. Councillor Hillier.
Yes, Your Worship. Just very quickly, on Saturday evening, I was honoured to attend the Home for Christmas celebration at All Saints Parish Hall. And of course, Your Worship, as you know, an evening at All Saints is always special because of the meal. But that's not why I brought this up this evening. This was a special, even more so, in that it was hosted by the Conception Bay South Community Band. Your Worship, I'd like to congratulate the band on its 60th anniversary, providing musical entertainment to our residents, and they haven't lost a step. As Saturday night they did a fabulous job of entertaining us all with Christmas music and kicking off the Christmas season. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier, and they certainly have quite a repertoire and quite a variety of offerings. They're always fantastic to hear. Thank you for recognizing them. Councillor Connors.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to speak tonight on this Saturday night, November 25th, at a junior hockey game at CBS Arena. The Asante CBR Junior Renegades will be celebrating the life of Steve Gillard. Steve was dedicated to hockey and sports, great sports fan, and he cherished to be loved to be the manager of the CBR Renegades of the junior team. He was a mentor, he was a role model for the hockey communities. When we became general manager of the team, when they re-entered the league back in 2010, and he was general manager up until last year, and he passed away this year. But he'll always be remembered as the Renegades GM for life. So if you're a former junior hockey player or had Steve as a coach in minor, junior, high school, or in the Doug Marshall Midget League, or if you're just a fan of the game like Steve was, come on out Saturday night and join them in celebrating and remembering Steve. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Councillor Connors, and of course, a special night for the Junior Renegades. And of course, it's great that they're honoring Steve in this way, and I know that they'll do that for years to come. And I've earlier, I think it's earlier this month now, it all seems to run together. I was at the Darrell Reed Memorial Hockey Tournament as well. And of course, Darrell was tragically lost in the Ocean Ranger, along with others here in Conception Bay South. And it's great to keep the memory of the people alive through the things that they loved. And it was great to be there for that. And that's, I think, the longest running high school hockey tournament in the province. Is that right? And it's and
38 years.
38 years, yeah. So it's great for that. And congratulations and thank you to the Renegades, of course, for what they're going to do Saturday night. And I think if you're a fan of volunteers and a fan of sports and and just a fan of goodwill in our town, it'd be a great game to go catch. A wonderful experience, I think, for the community as well. Councillor Melissa Hardy. Thank you, Councillor Hardy. Councillor Butler.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the senior social for sure. Haven't quite figured out what I'm going to wear yet, though. They like to dress up when they go to these functions, so you got to try and keep up with all our very active seniors that we have. And the tickets actually go on sale November 23rd at 10 a.m. at the town hall, and they're $5 each. So I'm sure they'll sell out very quickly. And that was actually all I was going to have to say tonight. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Hardy. Councillor Moores.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things with regards to, I guess, recreation and stuff going on for Christmas. I was going to mention the seniors Christmas social, but I think we'll just leave that where it is. The town Santa Claus Parade and the tree lighting ceremony will be happening December 2nd. The parade will start at 10 a.m. and travel to the town hall. There will be road closures in effect, so please have a look on the town's website to see a full list of closures. The deadline to apply to have a float group in the parade is Wednesday, November 22nd. And the tree lighting will be happening at 4 p.m. at the town hall. In the event of poor weather, the events will be moved to the following day, December 3rd. Also like to point out that the light walk along Manuel's River is going to start on December 1st, and that will carry on until the end of Winterfest. And one other thing that I would like to point out, which I just have to pull it up here now. If you are at the rooms anytime soon, you might recognize one of our own, Councillor Hillier. He was inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame on April 5th, and his dedication to volleyball from middle school to university earned his selection for the National Junior Volleyball Team in 1975. In 1976, he competed in the North American Championships in Mexico. And during the same period, he represented our province as a torchbearer in the Olympics in Montreal. So you can check him out at the 50 Years of the Sports Hall of Fame located on level 3 at the room. So I think that's pretty cool and very exciting for Councillor Hillier. And I encourage everyone to go check out that area of the rooms. And that's all I had. Thank you.
Just one thing, Councillor Moores, the display finished yesterday. So, but thank you anyway. It's certainly been an honor to be part of that, certainly with some of the great athletes that were on display there. Jeff Babstock played the Pan American Soccer Championships. Dougie Grant had a great career in hockey. Joanne McDonald was there. I don't know if anybody knows Joanne. Joanne broke the ice for wheelchair sports in Newfoundland, in Canada, throughout the world back in the 70s and 80s. But, Your Worship, we don't have to go outside this room to find people who have represented our province on the national stage and as athletes, and people who have spent their lives as builders, providing the opportunity for kids to be involved in sports. So I thank them as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but if you go on the room's website, you will be able to check out part of the thing too. There is one other thing I did want to mention. On Saturday at the CBS Arena, there's going to be representatives from the CBR Hockey Association that are going to be collecting toys for Lincolnsville Center Ice. So I'm not going to get into all the details about that one, but I do think it's something that everyone should consider participating in. And if you are able to donate a toy, I think it's a very good cause, especially with what happened recently. So all day at the CBS Arena.
Thank you, Councillor Moores. And for those of you who didn't get to the rooms or maybe not able to find it online, I'll give a shout out to our friend in the back of the room from the Shoreline, because there's a big picture and article in the Shoreline this week. And I was by one of the supermarkets yesterday, and there's still a number of them there available for pickup. So you can get one there. But no, it's always nice to see something like that highlighting especially the Hall of Fame and the way they did it. It was really nice. And of course, some of the people there that I know I've sat on boards with and have had discussions with, and maybe even some arguments with over the years about sports and so forth, were highlighted there. And there's no I guess surprise that the people highlighted there, most people know them not from why they're there as much as they know them from how they were involved after why they were there and continue, and yourself included, of course, and not only accomplishing great heights for yourself, but also for giving back to the sports and the sporting world in the way these people have. And it's a great tribute, and it was nice to see for sure. So congratulations on that. Well deserved. Okay, Councillor Barrett.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just one thing for me this evening. I wanted to congratulate Amy Pike for her 1 year and grand opening of the Bearded Dragon Barbershop. The town was there in support of that grand opening a couple of weeks ago. I know, Your Worship, you were there, and Deputy Mayor. Quite an impressive young lady. She's very involved with Skills Canada and was ranked the top barber for barbering all across the country, and she competed in Finland where she ranked 14th, and I think it's a really impressive feat. It's delighted to see her talent operate here in CBS, and I was there myself last week and avail of her services, and I would certainly encourage anybody interested in supporting local. That's a good spot to go. So
Easy for you to say.
that's right. But no, it's just there in Villanova Plaza, so certainly be cognizant of that if you were looking for a haircut. But that's it for me. Great to have a new business again in the community.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Yes, it's always nice to welcome a new business, and Bearded Dragon and Amy is, as you said, is quite impressive, and congratulations to her and that new business there in Conception Bay South. Just a couple of things. I think I've gone around the room, haven't I? Yeah. I just want to note a congratulations, and I know that this is a ceremonial after the fact, but the cap and gown ceremony this past week for the Queen Elizabeth High School was a fantastic event. It's a pleasure to be there on behalf of the town, and to see, I think it was 140 plus graduates were on hand for that, and some amazing award winners and some very talented young people who are heading out into their next part of their journey. And it's great to see that. So it was congratulations to them, and congratulations to the entire school community at Queenie and the staff and so forth for the work that they do. A great group of people down there for sure. Also on Saturday past, and I suspect anybody that's been anywhere in the last few days knows that the Salvation Army kettles are on the go just about everywhere, that a lot of people attend anyway. And I note that the one at the Dominion has tapping, so that makes it easier to give. And of course, just want to say, the Salvation Army Kettle is a great campaign because all the money raised in Conception Bay South stays in Conception Bay South to help people. And as one of the organizers told me on Saturday, they couldn't use a nickel of that to buy a light bulb for the facilities. They have to spend it on their people that are in need. So that's always a good thing to hear this day and age, because there is unfortunately growing need, and it's great to go out and support the Salvation Army Kettle campaign as well. I think it's this Saturday, just before forgive me now, I want to get the word. So just before the Stuff the Truck event in the morning on Saturday, before you go help stuff the truck, drop down to the Salvation Army facility here, because Louise and Bertie Mercer are having this Picks with Santa, and the money raised from this Picks with Santa, of course, go to support the Riley Mercer Toy Drive. It'll be held on December 10th, and that's a great event where our community comes together to bring toys and help families that are less fortunate. So that's an event coming up this weekend as well. And the lighted walk, I know you highlighted that, Councillor Moores, but one thing that I want to stress is the lighted walk is pretty well ready to go. We might see it on a day before, just testing it. You might see it lit up a bit, but we're keeping it on already. We're announcing now, we're keeping it on till after the Winterfest, which is fantastic. That's December, January, and pretty well all of February. So it's great to have that all set up to go, and we can let people know that they have until the middle of February, certainly, to enjoy the lighted walk at Manuel's River. That was that's a great thing to be able to provide, and I know we all really enjoy it. It's a fantastic walk down there on the best of days for sure. Just the memorial wall at the CBS fire station. Chief Heffernan, I have to say that was an absolutely wonderful event. And for those who don't know about the memorial wall, it's a wall within the fire station where they remember firefighters who have passed, and they remember their contribution to our community and the safety of our residents, and to their own organization, of course, the fire department, whether they were volunteer firefighter before or since the full-time fire department. And Chief Heffernan oversaw that, and you tolled the bell for each person that was added to the wall, lit a candle, and had family members present of those who had passed. And it was a very moving ceremony, and it's a wonderful tribute to those who have helped serve our community, helped serve our fire station, and of course should not be forgotten. And I want to compliment the fire station and the firefighters for their maintenance of the wall at the fire station. It's fantastic. It was a great event to be to. And of course, I also want to note that we had what I would call probably the biggest turnout ever at our Remembrance Day ceremony here at our Monument of Honor. I think I'm no good at numbers, but I'll leave it to the highest tally that I heard anybody say. And they thought it was probably north of 600, 650 people out. And it was not a great day. There was dampness in the air and it was about 1 degree. But that didn't end a Saturday too. So that didn't stop people from coming out. And it was just great to see so many people come out and the dedication, of course, of the new Jeep. I say new Jeep, the historic Jeep, I suppose, as well, that the Legion will be using as a moving monument and a remembrance for those who have given so much and those who continue to serve the general public through the service that they do. So it was a great event. And I have to say that every time I go to a ceremony at the Monument of Honor, I'm very proud to be there and proud that our monument is such a wonderful dedication to those who have served and are serving. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now for a minute and turn things over to Councillor Hillier again for the Planning Committee. Councillor Hillier.
Yes, Your Worship, these are recommendations brought forward from our committee meeting of November 14th. Number 1, accessory building regulations. Be it so resolved that in accordance with section 14 of the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000, Council undertake public and stakeholder consultation for a proposed amendment to section 5.3.3 of the town's development regulations to delete the reference to style. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hardy. Discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, we've had several applications for accessory buildings where this word style sort of handcuffs us as to what it really means. So in discussion at the committee level, we're recommending that word be taken out, and we can't just do that on a whim. It has to go through a particular process in terms of changing our regulations. So we'll be working through that over the coming weeks.
Any further comments? All in favor?
All right.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Before you go ahead, Councillor Hillier, I can declare conflict on the next.
Sure.
I have a relative that's involved with that property.
Yep. Six B. Be it so resolved that application number 3402 received on October 23rd, 2023 for placement of fill at 1440 Conception Bay Highway be approved, subject to submission and approval of grading and stormwater management plans. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Moores. Discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Your Worship, before we get into the committee report, I just want to remind residents that the radon kits that they signed on for are here at Town Hall and can be picked up any day during business hours here at the front desk. And the committee report, Your Worship, if you look at the listing, it shows the minutes and all the topics that we discussed over and above topics that required motion tonight. Be it so resolved that decisions and discussions of the November 14th, 2023 Planning and Development Committee meeting be accepted. And items discussed, as I said, are listed below. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Moores. Discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And that's it for me, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier. Recommendations of Engineering and Public Works, Chair, Councillor Melissa Hardy.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. Using this mic here now, my original mic is not working here this evening, so I think we're okay now. Just have a blanket recommendation for our meeting held on November 15th around some winter safety campaign items. So just some things to keep in consideration. As everyone knows, the temperature is dropping quickly. Next day it'll go warm. So you'll have a little bit of dewy on your front doorsteps and some sidewalks and stuff. So just drive and walk with extra caution. Keep your space heaters away from flammable materials to prevent accidents. I know a lot of kids are, you're putting away your Halloween decorations. You're probably taking out your Christmas decorations. and you probably have boxes off, so just be extra mindful of that. With the freezing temperatures too, a lot of animals are out walking around, so just be mindful when you come back in with them. You want to clean their paws because some of the salt that could be out on the road is not safe for their paws. I guess when you're driving home now, it's getting dusk very quickly. We have had some near misses I've heard throughout the community of, folks out getting walking before the temperatures get really dark. So just be mindful of that if you are going out for a walk, that you are wearing something reflective so drivers can see you. And I guess the last couple of ones now, report some of the potholes if you see any in the community through our online tool, because that'll help us get them all cleared up before, I guess, the season gets underway with the white snow that's going to be coming. And at any point in time, any of our residents can sign up for our mass alert notification system. And it's a really good notification system. You'll get a text message if there's anything happening in the surrounding area. Okay. So blanket recommendation for our committee meeting. Be it so resolved that recommendations and decisions of the Engineering and Public Works Committee held on November 15th be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Morris, discussion.
Just a standard meeting. One of the big things now is our capital projects. They're all completed now for the 2023 season, with the exception of a few deficiencies in the area. So we're hoping to have those completed, if not this week, early next week.
Okay. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you. Recommendations from the Recreation and Leisure Services Committee Chair, Councillor Shelley Morris.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. I just have a blanket recommendation this evening also, but I did want to mention one of the things. A 50th anniversary half marathon legacy run. We were hoping to have this put off before Christmas, but it didn't quite work out. So it is going to take place next year, but it will be a legacy run. And we're very excited to be able to host something like this in the town. Details will be coming soon with the save the date. So I just want to put that out to everyone to keep their eyes open for it and prepare to register and start your training to participate in this run. So it should be a really good event to have here in our community. So the 8A Recreation Leisure Services Committee report, be it so resolved that the recommendations and decisions of the Recreation Leisure Services Committee meeting on November 14th, 2023 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hardy, discussion. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you, Councillor Morris.
Thank you.
Recommendations of the Financial and Administrative Services Committee, and this evening, Councillor Josh Barrett will bring forward the recommendations. Councillor Barrett.
Thank you, Your Worship. 9A, appointment of Appeal Assessment Commissioner, year 2024. Be it so resolved that the town of Conception Bay South appoint Mr. Mitchell Moran as the Appeal Assessment Commissioner for the year 2024. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hilliard. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9B, Order 41 Chanterelle Drive, Conception Bay South. Be it so resolved that the order issued on November 9th, 2023 under the Urban and Rural Planning Act and the Town Conception Bay South Development Regulations 2011 to 2021, ordering the removal of all agriculture livestock from the property situated at 41 Chanterelle Drive, Conception Bay South, be confirmed. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Morris. Discussion? I just want to say on this file, this has been going on for a couple of years now, and it's frustrating that some of these files go on this long, but we got to go through the proper processes to get to the result that's desired and reach compliance with our regulations. I will say that originally there had been some efforts made, and we thought compliance had been reached, and then it turns out months later that actually had changed again. So we've been at this now for most of this year, and I think Councillor Morris, you were involved in some of the discussions with this file, but it's good to see that we're at this stage, but it's absolutely unfortunate that we have to go to the order stage in order to get compliance with our regulations, because it takes so long and it's such a involved process. But here we are, unfortunately, but it's the next step that we have, and that's the way we have to go with it. Any further discussion?
Yes, we have two this evening and there's an order next and agreed. Unfortunate, everybody knows I'm a very outspoken vocal supporter of hobby farms in Conception Bay South, and we've tried to get these folks situated, and as you said, your worship, unfortunately, it's come to this point.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9C, Order 7 Dowdens Road, Conception Bay South. Be it so resolved that the order issued on November 9, 2023, under the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000 and the Town of Conception Bay South Development Regulations 2011 to 2021, ordering the property owner to remove all agricultural livestock and to either remove or relocate the accessory buildings to a permitted location on the property located at 7 Dowdens Road, Conception Bay South, be confirmed. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hillier, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9D, Eating Disorder Foundation of Newfoundland Labrador. Be it so resolved that approval be given to purchase a flag at a cost of $175 from Winco Enterprises Limited in support of the Eating Disorder Foundation of Newfoundland Labrador. Funds are available in the following account. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Moores, discussion?
Yes, your worship, similar to what you proclaimed today, we are also supporting the Eating Disorder Foundation Newfoundland Labrador early in the new year. Certainly a worthy cause.
Yeah, and we'll fly their flag. I believe it's February. There's
I
a
believe,
week
yes.
set aside there for that, and of course, it's something that they're working to combat here in our province. It's such a growing problem, unfortunately. But the purchase of the flag is actually, I guess, partially a financial support for the organization as well. So
Yeah.
we're happy to do that and to have the flag to fly going forward. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
any further comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9E, Accounts Payable Checks. Be it so resolved that approval be given to pay accounts payable checks totaling $706,996.87 as per the attached report. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hillier, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9F. Sorry about that. Issues with the mic. 9F, manual checks. Be it so resolved that approval be given to ratify the payment of manual checks totaling $54,165.84. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Moores, discussion?
Just paying some bills.
Paying the bills, yeah, and I apologize, Councillor Barrett, I cut your mic off by mistake.
Oh, I'm used to it. That's
Yeah.
fine.
And unfortunately, so. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9G, capital invoice approval. Be it so resolved that approval be given to pay capital invoices totaling $85,013.97 as per the attached report. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Butler, discussion?
Yes, your worship, we certainly expect these invoices to be decreasing over the next few weeks and months, as noted by Councillor Hardy. A lot of the infrastructure work is done this year, but looking forward to pursuing more capital works project come the spring.
Yeah. As you start smelling asphalt around town, you
That's
expect the
right.
bills to go back up again.
That's right.
Any further comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9H, tax and other receivables. Be it so resolved that approval be given to adjust tax and other receivables accounts as followed. And there is a list of 5 accounts there that we are proposing to move forward. So moved.
Seconder, Counselor Moores, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
The last thing for me today on this agenda is our 9I Financial and Administrative Services Committee report. Be it so resolved that the decisions, recommendations of the Financial and Administrative Services Committee meeting of November 14th, 2023 be accepted as presented. We have a few items there in the minutes as well. So moved.
Seconder, Counselor Hillier, discussion.
Yes, just wanted to note to residents that our budget development and deliberations are well underway. And we are waiting for the most recent data on to ensure that our numbers are up to date. And so we will have more to say in terms of a date and all of that fun stuff soon.
Did you have a recommendation
I
or did we do
think
that?
I said that.
Oh, maybe.
Did it?
Did
okay.
you? Okay, sorry.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carry.
Thanks.
Thank
Georgia.
you, Counselor Barrett. All right. Recommendations of the Economic Development and Tourism Committee Chair, Counselor Paul Connors.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. These are the recommendation decisions from our November 15th meeting. 10A, the Clean Energy Action Plan. Be it so resolved, approval be given for Fundamental Inc. to be engaged for the completion of a clean energy analysis, opportunities, gaps, and action plan at a maximum cost of $36,609 plus HST. Funds are available on a 50-50 cost shared through the CAN Export Community Investment Fund, through Global Affairs Canada, and the Economic Development Operating Budget. So moved.
Seconder, Counselor Barrett, discussion?
Yeah, so this is another initiative which will be very valuable as we position ourselves to capitalize on the innovative opportunities within the clean energy sector at both the municipal and federal or regional level and provincial level. The initiative is funded, as I said, 50% externally, so it's and it will be a key asset as we look to diversify and expand local business opportunities.
Any further comments?
Yes, just wanted to chime in. I'm very excited about this evening. I know we've been chatting about such a plan for some time, and I think moving forward, this is has the potential of being a very strategic piece of work for us. And I believe moving forward and developing the sector for our town could pay dividends in the future. So certainly looking forward to what they might recommend through this plan.
Okay, further comments? All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you.
Our blanket recommendation, be it so resolved that the recommendations, decisions made at the Economic Development Tourism Committee meeting on November 15, 2023 be accepted as presented. The list of discussion topics are attached. So moved.
Seconder, Counselor Butler, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you, Counselor Connors. Are there any other committee reports from outside of council? Yep, a couple hands. Counselor Moores.
Yes, Mayor Vent, we had our first Winterfest committee meeting last week, and we had 26 residents come forward, want to be on the committee, which is great. And we're starting early this year to try and get, as many great items planned as we can. So it's very exciting to have so many people wanting to be involved, and we look forward to another great event.
Excellent news. Great turnout.
Yeah, I just got, that shows the value of our volunteers in our community and how many people we have out there that want to come forward to volunteer for stuff. It's great to see.
Yeah, and it's great because I think that's an increased number. I don't think I've ever heard of 26 coming out before. So That's good. We're gonna have a great event. 50th first anniversary event. Okay. Counselor Barrett.
Yes, thank you. We had a on Friday, I believe the 17th, November 17th, we had a Parks Commission meeting. That was great. That was the last one for the year, and I wanted to note we had a brief discussion about our municipal enforcement at the Parks Commission, and they wanted me to pass along their appreciation for our staff and all the work that they do. Obviously, we have a very big geography, and obviously we all have limited capacity to do certain things, but they certainly appreciate the work that they do in our green spaces and on our trails. So just want to pass that along this evening.
Yeah, and the Parks Commission is so important to us here, and it's a great work that they do, and great, absolutely fantastic to be able to support them. And thank you for work you're doing there. I find it hard to believe that we're doing year-end, events are happening already, and it seems like we just got the 50th anniversary year underway, and here we are getting very close to closing it out. Does anybody else have anything else? Okay, and so our next meeting will be December the 4th, after the Santa Claus parade and after the tree lighting, and fully into the Christmas season for sure. So I just want to say thank you to the people that are organizing that and getting ready in recreation to get that underway. And the lights will already be on at Manuel's River, and it'll be good to go. So if nobody else has anything else, yeah, Councilor Hardy. Is it? We're coming back on the 5th? Well, I'm coming a day early. I'll be here. I'll be here ready. We'll see you guys when you show up. Now, so December 5th, apparently. Well, that'd be great. We'll be here on the 5th then too. Anyway, if nobody else has anything else to add, we'll call for a motion for adjournment. Councilor Barrett, seconded by Councilor Hardy. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Have a good evening.